architect of an idea. But that's not good enough. You need a person who is able to, for example, put together a solution. The technology part, if you're good in technology, it's great. Otherwise, get yourself some of the good technology people because they can translate your idea into a product. Get yourself good marketing people who will be able to voice your solution better, because you would have seen even here, if you don't articulate your solution well, then that's an opportunity loss. And you have to know how to articulate your solution well so that it makes the right impact to the jury, to the venture capitalists, and so on. And third is, you also need people who are able to be good leaders, good coaches in your team, who are able to bring together. Because when a startup team, how do you keep them together? How do you continue to inspire? The visionary has to inspire them all the time. They have to see the larger picture so that the immediate problems that they face are not really problems, but they just see how to solve them, right? And that's been the story of great startups across the world. A bunch of people who are so committed to the idea that the immediate problems that they face are not really problems. They know that they have to face them, but they'll find ways of solving them. So I think if you stick on to that, you have enough in our ecosystem to be able to help you, and we at Atal Innovation Mission will be very happy to support you on it.
So, I mean, I think my last question with a comment is, so I registered on Atal Innovation Mission, I think 2 years ago, and I think I really must felicitate you about, the periodic newsletters I get and the instructional emails I get, and a quick synopsis of the achievements and what the government's doing. So it's very engaging for a lot of us. So while some of us might drop out, there's this attempt at engagement with young people, which is absolutely amazing, and I think very unprecedented. So just to wrap up, I think we're all here today for UN SDGs. So any parting comments on what we can do for the youth? What's our larger vision for the youth in alignment with innovation and UN SDGs? And is there a very big, tangible way for us to draw upon the resources and expertise of private players, private bodies?
So, all that I would first, I'm very happy to have collaborated with UNDP on this, because they have brought not only something that all the youth can connect to, because most of the youth today, I feel, connect to these problems which the SDG problems have or try to solve. And I think that's a great thing, because any solution that you develop has to have an SDG element that is being addressed when you're developing the solution. Otherwise, you're creating money and you're creating wealth, but you're also creating problems simultaneously. And so you have to make sure that you don't create problems while creating a solution. All that I would suggest to every one of you is these represent opportunities for you to dare to dream and dream to dare. I've said this many times on other occasions. This is the time when every one of you should dare to dream. You have the right environment and the right ecosystem. You don't have to be in the United States. In fact, India is the right place for you to dare to dream about new solutions and dream to dare. You should not think of small solutions. You should think of making impact at a national level. When you turn your thoughts that way, look at how your solution can have larger and larger impact. And that is something that you have the potential and you are capable of doing. Second, you have the ability to realize your full potential through being an entrepreneur. We all go through life just doing things, being told to do things, and we do that thing. You have to think slightly differently today. You have to think, can I create something of my own? And that is a much, it's a much more rewarding pursuit in life than anything else. If you are only doing what others are asking you to do, no problem. You may want to do it for some time. But keep at the back of your mind that you also have to make an impact. Like Steve Jobs said, put a ding in the universe. Are you doing your role to put a ding in the universe? And you have an opportunity to put a ding in the universe, and you should exploit that. And third, you should seek the help of people around you in order to achieve your dream. Gone are the days where you could do it alone. Today, the world is a much more complex world. It's a more connected world. And you have the opportunity through the internet, through the technology, to be able to reach across to anybody. So that's a great multiplying force that you have at your command. And you should leverage that. And if you see most of the people today, like for example, I see this WhatsApp groups on our Atal Innovation Mission, the Mentors of Change WhatsApp groups. They all connect with each other. They are all creating solutions. Somebody says, I have had this problem. How have you solved this problem? And there are 10 guys who are saying, this is how we have solved it. That's the power of the network that is available to you today. And you should harness it. And you will definitely succeed. Yeah, I already shared a lot of my thoughts today through the interactions that we had with Prerna. But I just want to once again congratulate every one of you. A big hand of applause to every one of you. I say this from the bottom of my heart because at your age, I never had the guts to even imagine, even though I was coming from a prestigious institution like IIT Bombay, which is one of those ratified institutions in this country, I never had the guts, I never had the thought of becoming an entrepreneur. I felt it was, I knew about entrepreneurship at that time, but not to the extent that is known by every one of you. And very few of my teammates or my college mates became an entrepreneur. I know one or two who became, and who were extraordinarily successful. And by the way, they were not the brightest or the most, I would not say the brightest, they were not the most academically accomplished within IIT. But they set up, two of my friends set up world-class startups. One of them is WebEx, which all of you know, and that was from my IIT classmate, Subra Iyer, who set it up. And there was another who was actually part of the evolution even in Microsoft. He is now at a very senior level, but he was involved in creating some of the Microsoft Office products. And the thing is, every one of you have started on an innovation journey of becoming an entrepreneur, of even, it takes a lot of courage to even bid for a competition like this. Many people don't want to bid for a competition because they are afraid whether their ideas will be poo-pooed, whether somebody will mock their ideas, whether they will be able to really present what they have in their mind. And to come to this stage requires a lot of courage, requires a lot of patience, and requires a lot of persistence, and a belief in yourself that my idea is worth listening to and worth being acted upon. And that, I think, is key for every one of you, and that's being reflected in what is happening in India today. In India today, as those of you who have who must have read the latest NASSCOM report, we have had 1,900 startups just in the last year, and over 10,000 startups have come into existence since 2014. We are the third largest startup ecosystem in the world today. We have 24 unicorns, which is again a very big number for a country. Many of the other countries are not having as many unicorns. And it is estimated by NASSCOM that we will have close to 95 to 100 unicorns before 2025. And that's again a very, very big number in terms of number of unicorns that are coming out from our system. We have 18% of these startups which are deep tech. So somebody asked, one of the people asked, do you have to be a deep tech startup? But only 18% of the startups are deep tech startups. The others are not necessarily tech oriented, but they are startups nevertheless. They leverage technology. Every startup will end up leveraging technology because technology has become so key and integral to any solution that you are thinking. But even if you are thinking of community service, even if you are thinking of education, even if you are thinking of healthcare, you need to leverage technology, but the solution need not be dominated by technology. It is a solution that can leverage it. So 18% are deep tech startups. 70% growth has happened in early stage funding for the startups. 4.4 billion US dollars have found itself into startups in the last year, out of which 1.6 billion has been for early stage startups. So early stage startups are getting more and more recognition by the startup ecosystem. And so these are very, very encouraging figures for every one of you. The startups, just the startups alone, have created 60,000 jobs in the country, direct jobs, and 1.6 lakh indirect jobs. This is according to the NASSCOM report. So again, it is creating an impact in terms of job employment and so on and so forth. And of course, today we have more than 200 incubators in our country. So each incubator is supporting 20 to 25 startups or fostering 20 to 25 startups. So at the end of a year, you're going to have close to about 4,000 startups which will come out because of these incubators being set up. So every one of you, in fact, Atal Innovation Mission has committed that all the 26 teams which are here, we will provide you access to our incubators so that you can present your solutions to the incubators and see whether you can become an incubator, whether you are a winner or not. And you should try it out. You have to go back. If your solution has to be refined and has to be bettered and improved, do that. But don't give up on your solution and see how it can be modified, how it can be enhanced, so that you become incubatee and you get additional support that is required in order for you to succeed. So this is the world as it stands today, and especially in India. You have a unique opportunity. I once again urge every one of you not to lose heart at the first failure. As Abdul Kalam said, fail is the first attempt in learning. So you always look at whether you have only two words in the startups dictionary. One is success, the second is learning. So you're either learning or you're successful. And remember that even when you're successful, you have to continuously learn so that you can improve, you can evolve. The iPhone, as it is today, has not happened in one shot. It has happened over a period of time. Because at every moment they see what is the continuous improvement that we can do, what is the new feature that we can add, what is the new impact that we can create. And that's the sort of thing, and the Apple Watch and everything has come as a result of it. So we have unique opportunities out there. And I applaud and congratulate every one of you who has participated in this. And I want to thank UN for giving such a wonderful opportunity. A big hand to UN and the Youth Collab movement is an initiative which is already there in 20 countries across the world. And so that it has come to India and is here to stay, and we are there to partner with them. I am really very, very happy to have partnered with UNDP. And I think these collaborations provide you a support that is very crucial in your journey of making your idea succeed and get accepted in the marketplace. I would also thank the jury. I am very, very grateful to Dr. Purushottam, who is supporting Atal Innovation Mission in multiple ways, and of course the innovation ecosystem and all the others. A big hand to the jury too. And finally, most of you are probably now familiar or on familiar terms with all my team. My team is here from Atal Innovation Mission. Can you all stand up, please? And they have played behind the scenes role. Thank you so much. All the very best.
download Tarang online radio app from Google Play Store.
You are listening to Tarang Devotional Online Radio.